Hello, hi everybody. Welcome to the Christian Jacob Not Quite a Show. Still no background background dancers or whatever. It's just a piano solo and some of your help. Doing some audience participation. And so feel free to send questions or comments and things, and eventually I'll go to the computer and answer to some of them. And all right, for the first tune, I thought about telling you something, about in the 70s. I had this series of vinyls which were created by Jamie Abersold, and I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about, where you had the rhythm section playing on it. So it went on cassette later and then on CD, and it's still on right now. I believe it's probably on downloads or something like that. But anyway, you had the rhythm section on, and if you were like a horn player or a singer, you could improvise on it and play on top of it. If you were a pianist like me, they made sure the piano was on one side of the stereo, it was on the left side. So by turning the stereo on the right side, I just had bass and drums, and then now I could play the piano and then improvise. Anyway, one of the book I had was Charlie Parker, and that's really where I learned a lot of those Charlie Parker tunes like ornithology, anthropology, scrapple from the apple, and confirmation. All right, so I thought I'm gonna start with playing confirmation. confirmation. Yeah, that was doing those Charlie Parker bebop tune is really fun. Okay, now I want to do my original, do an original. And so for, I saw last week, I think somebody mentioned one of my original called Remembrance. And so I decided to do it today. And that title needs a little explanation why I called it Remembrance. And some of you might know I'm classically trained. I did the Paris Conservatory, which is basically the Juilliard of France. So I was basically on the way to do a classical music career, and always had jazz on the side, which I loved, and improvising was really something that I didn't want to lose. So what did I do? I basically halted everything and decided to come to America, and in particular to Boston, to the Berklee College of Music, to get more and more into jazz. And so what happened is I really took all my classical background and I really turned it off. I shut it down. I was really like working on learning jazz and being into pure jazz, and then I did this for a few years. I mean, subconsciously, you see what I mean? And then in actually this tune I wrote in 1997, and that remembrance meant to me that I realized, why am I doing that? At that point, I was like, this is part of me, that old classical background. So I from that time I really accepted it really in my playing, and trying to do more of a hybrid of playing, in a classical way, but also in a jazz way. So Remembrance, that was a tune that I wrote for that. Just one more little thing, it was the first track of the trio CD I recorded that Maynard Ferguson produced. So on the CD was Maynard Ferguson Presents Christian Jacob. And so the opening track is Remembrance. right, so that was Remembrance. Thank you. All right, I want to get into an intimate participation, I guess. So remember we did last week we did the humming, and we'll do that maybe another time. I know it was what it was. I had a couple of you who thought it was an incredible experience, so I like that. But we do the 7 notes. We should do that today also. So please type your favorite note. A pitch, not a chord, not a key, not a minor or major, just a regular single pitch. C sharp, A flat, whatever. You can go with double flat if you want, or double sharp. That's fine. And then I select the first 7 of you, and then we'll see what melody it creates, this kind of thing. So go ahead and type quickly, so to be in the first 7. And all right, so since I talked about Jamie Arbesol, having the rhythm section at your service, I was thinking, maybe we should do that today. So I chose a tune that I hope most of you know. So I went for Fly Me to the Moon. Maybe, I'm sure, well, not, you don't know maybe all the lyrics or even none at all, but it doesn't matter because you are going to be singing, but if you don't know lyrics, just do la la la. And so I was thinking I'm going to be your Jamie Arbesol, meaning I'm going to play, but I'm going to accompany you. So I chose a key which I believe would be okay if you are a male or if you are female. The key of D minor. So that's going to be the key, and then we're going to do that in a professional way. So I do a little intro, I get you started, and then you sing the whole tune. Then you stop and I take a solo, which is going to be half of the form, and then I bring you in. I bring you in for the second half, and then we end the song. And then I thought to end the song we just gonna do the Frank Sinatra ending. In other words, I love blah, 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 you. Okay, so I hope you're all alone. You're not in the bus or something, because you're gonna be singing as loud as you can. Okay, so let's fly to the moon. Here you go. Well, I hope you had fun. Okay. All right. So let's we're gonna calm down, and I think it's time for a ballad this time. And so for the ballad, I want to play a beautiful ballad from Horace Silver called Peace. piece. What a great melody. It's okay. Well, remember last week I showed you my time machine and that I have bought on eBay, and some of you had asked me the link, but I'm sorry, that was the last time machine, so there's no more. That's only this one. So anyway, this time I was thinking, choose one day of my life was was great, and I want to bring you there with that time machine. And so we are going to go back to 2001 this time. And at that time I was on tour with the great Flora Purim, Brazilian singer, and Hayato Moreira, the great percussionist. And we were doing a tour. It was actually the Perpetual Emotion tour, which later became a CD, one CD of Flora. And on the July 28, 2001, we were playing in Boston in the great club Scholars. All right, so let's go. July 28, 2001. All right, let's see. Yeah, Flora and Ayerto, we were playing Windows. That worked good. Hey, maybe, you noticed the bass player happened to be my longtime cohort, Trey Henry, we've been playing together for, so long. We played with Maynard together. We played, with Flora Ayerto. We've been playing, of course, for over 25 years with Tierney Sutton and Tierney Sutton Band. And then, of course, he plays in the Christian Jacob Trio. So that was Trey on the bass. And that great sax solo was Gary Meek, a complete musician, which was really a lot of fun being on tour with him. Always burning every day. Very, very incredible player. And I'm sure you know him. He's around. He plays. Okay, so I think now, before I answer some question, I want to play a tune I was reminded of. It's a tune by Thelonious Monk that Monk wrote in honor of his good friend Bud Powell, and it's called In Walked Bud. In walked the bud. All right, listen, I'm gonna come a little closer, and then let's see if I can answer a couple questions. If you have okay, let's see. Where's Tivoli, the cat? Well, I'm sorry to say, but actually she's okay because she's sleeping right now, so she doesn't know the door is closed. But the door is closed because if not, she would be kind of singing while I'm playing. So that's it. All right, that was a very important question. Oh, when a concert to Luxembourg? Yes, well, we had something planned for actually, what was it, a couple months ago. We had planned. I had planned to go to France and Luxembourg, since last year, and then of course because of the mean COVID-19 that has been cancelled. So basically, I'm thinking, probably we just push it a year, and so probably in May, end of May or something like that, I should be coming, and we'll do something there. All right. Rabu asked me, okay, how do I train my left hand? Well, I think classical really had formed my hand from the beginning. The classical repertoire has definitely a lot to do with both hands. Jazz is usually always more right hand oriented, because usually if you have a bass player or things, so I really think by doing some classical pieces, learning classical, let's not start with the left hand concerto or something so difficult, but thing. And then I basically try to do whatever exercise I did with the right hand. So for example, if I do arpeggios, there was a series of arpeggio I'm going to show you that I used to do, that my master Pierre Sancan in Paris had given us, and there was a series of arpeggio. So first we had like arpeggio with 4 notes. Then it came into dominant 7. So I'll just then minor, then diminished, half diminished actually, and then diminished, and then then I'm now on C sharp. So basically doing all those keys, major 7, dominant 7, minor, half diminished, and then dominant. That wasn't right. Yeah, I mean, you do, and then you can do it on. Yeah, it's been a long time. But that was like an exercise, for example, I did. Don't do it if it hurts. Don't do it too long. But I think that's a good exercise. Okay, let's do one more question. We got still some things to do. When was the last time you made a mistake or coughed a note? Well, 2 minutes ago. Maybe what year was it? You played flawless. No, I don't. And that's the the thing uh, about improvising too is sometimes what's great. Well, you cannot do that in classical, but I mean, if you do, people hear it more. But in jazz, if you suddenly, sometimes I really do a stupid mistake, a really bad one, but I just turn it into like, if that's really what I wanted to do, and try to develop an idea about that big clam, like we call it. So no, I mean I made mistake. I make mistake like and. What's funny is that usually it's really mental. It's like there's a day where I'm gonna do mistakes constantly, and days where I feel very comfortable, and then everything goes right. That's why also for a pianist, at least, I'm sure for any instrumentist, the instrument is like really important. So when we do, that's why I'm happy to do that here on my piano that I know that I love. And when we do concerts, and sometimes the piano is really not tuned, and then you say, well, you have to tune the piano. Oh, it's okay, it was tuned like 2 weeks ago. Or if sometimes something is just not it's in my brain, and it bugs me, and but it's not a good way to be. I know some people, some players who are really like and then they can really like take it out whatever happened. Me, I have a little more problem. I need to be secure. Then I'm really I don't make mistake. It just goes. Everything is good. And technically, I can also add about that. Technically, I really learned the technique of logic. For example, if I sit at the same height every time, my body learns. It's like muscle memory. So, and I has less to deal with. So I always ask for a bench adjustable, so I can kind of have always the same height. Sometimes if you don't, also like the piano, the range of the piano. If I play, if my hand, I show you about my hand is here, I play something. Now, if I play something like there, well, my hand is at a different angle, which means it's much more difficult to play even the same thing. Now, if I do that, I'm playing the same thing. So I learned to, when I play, kind of control my playing more with the elbow, because then it's more like a typewriter. I don't know, but it's logic. And you're not gonna make, if you do an arpeggio, we were showing an arpeggio. If I'm doing it, it's natural. It's natural. Now, if I do it, it's so difficult because I have a different angle every time. So very little simple things like that. But that really come from Pierre Sancan when I was in Paris. That he really taught me, and at the time I was I was playing already. I was young, but playing anything, but playing it wrong. So I had to relearn kind of from scratch, which was very difficult. But then when suddenly I apply it and learn it to do it, wow, it's much easier. And so for improvising too, it's great. Little things like that. Well, thank you very much for those questions. Let's see. Let's do the 7 notes. So it's we got so today we got an B flat, then an E flat, then a G flat, then I have a B sharp, then I have a D, an F sharp, and a C. So here they are all. Okay, so let's see. well, we see. See next week. We get 7 other. Do something. All right. Well, listen. Thank you very much for coming to my home. It's great for me to have some visit and play for you. And again, if you want to support this show, stay tuned, and then you can read some links at the end, I think. But before we leave, I wanna play you a last one. And since we went see Flora and Ayerto today, I thought that I wanted to do something in seven because I must say during this tour we had a couple tunes in seven, and that's really when I learned to really play in seven and have a lot of fun enjoying improvising in seven. It was a little new for me, so I really like it. So I'm gonna do that on the standard, and it's Love for Sale. It's a Cole Porter tune. Sorry, Cole. It's in seven. right, thank you. See you next week. Same place, same time. Bye bye.